Welcome to another episode of One on One. I'm your moderator, Hanley, and on my left is Christian, and on my right, we're doing an NBA draft special today, so Jonathan would like to debut his draft suit.
What's good? What's good? Got the white tie, red shirt, the shorts, and the shoes. Y'all like it? Yeah.
Sure. All right, that was wonderful. And so, let's get started. Last night, my Sacramento Kings selected Marvin Bagley with the number 2 overall pick. Some people thought they should have selected Luka Doncic. Jonathan, did the Kings make the right selection by choosing Bagley over Doncic?
Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying that Marvin Bagley is a better player than Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic might be the more complete player. However, I think Bagley fits better with the Sacramento Kings than Doncic would. The Sacramento Kings already have De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield, right? They need a big guy in order for that team to really progress and develop over the years. Bagley was the correct choice. He led the ACC in both points per game and rebounds per game. Doncic is arguably the best player out of this draft class. However, I think Bagley will fit better with this team, and they might even have a shot at the playoffs next year with Bagley.
First of all, the Sacramento Kings are not going to make the playoffs. That is blasphemous. Next of all, okay, Luka Doncic is the best player in this draft. If I were the Sacramento Kings, I think Doncic is a better value pick than Bagley. I would have taken over Marvin Bagley. I think Marvin Bagley is going to be a bust in this draft.
Oh, how dare you.
He in college, he did not rely on the skill set that he had. He relied on physicality. That's not going to work as well in the NBA. You have more athletic players. And he also, for every 40 minutes that he played at Duke, he had 0.9 steals and 1 block. That's a major red flag.
He is
not a rim protector.
The Kings.
If I wanted to choose a big man, I would have taken Mo Bamba.
But Mo Bamba can't score that well. Bagley is the best offensive.
Mo Bamba is the best shooter out of all the big men in this draft class.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
Last night, the Atlanta Hawks traded the number 3 pick to the Dallas Mavericks for the Mavericks' number 5 pick in the 2019 first-round pick. The Mavericks then selected Luka Doncic, while the Hawks selected Trae Young. Christian, who won this trade?
The Mavericks absolutely won the trade. Normally, I would say that the team with the number 5 pick and the first-round pick wins. However, I believe there is such a big difference between Luka Doncic and Trae Young that the Mavericks won the trade. I think Luka Doncic is the best player in this class. Remember, when him and Goran Dragic, who is an NBA starting point guard, played on the Slovenian national team together, Goran Dragic was almost deferring to Doncic, saying he was the better player. I think Doncic is the safest player in this draft. Trae Young, though, he does not have a good physical profile for an NBA guard and is not a good defender. Last year at Oklahoma, he relied on getting to the free throw line, but when teams stopped fouling him...
He pulled up from half court, alright?
But when he drove, he's not a good finisher at the rim. When he drove, he relied on getting fouled. He went to the free throw line.
Right. But so does Steph Curry. Steph Curry is not a great finisher at the rim, and Steph Curry is a top 5 player in the NBA right now.
Steph Curry is a better player than Trae Young.
I agree.
He can... Also, Trae Young can be careless with the ball, and he commits a lot of turnovers. I just think Luka Doncic is a much better player.
I agree that Dallas got the better side of the deal because Doncic is the more complete player. Trae Young reminds me so much of Steph Curry in the fact that he likes to shoot. He's not he's not the best inside finisher, and he's not the best. He doesn't take care of the ball as good. Doncic is a great passer, can finish anywhere, can finish with either hand. Trae Young might be the better scorer, but if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I will gladly take Doncic over Trae Young and I think that the Hawks made a real mistake taking Trae
First
Young
of all,
because I think that Dennis Schroeder and Luka Doncic would have fit better for Atlanta.
I just think that, I mean, the Steph Curry comparison, I mean, I see you're trying to go, but I just want to make it clear, he's not, Steph Curry's a once-in-a-generational player.
Yeah.
Trae Young is going to be nowhere near that good.
There were players that last night that some people thought that were drafted too early or too late. Name a player that you think was drafted too early and one that was drafted too late. Jonathan?
The player drafted too early last night. I do love this guy. I cheered for him in his college career. Sadly, it was Wendell Carter Jr. Was the 7th overall pick to the Chicago Bulls. Wendell Carter might have looked okay on the stat sheet. He averaged more than 10 points per game. But in the March Madness run we saw, he really did not do that great of a job, in my opinion. He's not a great scorer. He misses a lot of shots that he should make. If I'm Chicago and I'm looking at what my team needs in order to not be as bad as we were this past season, I need a shooter. I need a big guy that can shoot the ball. Wendell Carter Jr. is not a great shooter, okay? He can't shoot from three as well as other big men could in this draft. He's not a great free throw shooter. He might be a good defender. He averaged over 2 blocks a game with Duke. However, he went too early last night. I think the Bulls should have drafted somebody else. The players, I'm going to say 2 players who went too late. Michael Porter Jr. and Grayson Allen. Here's why I think
Oh, no. Not
it's my turn. He asked me. Michael Porter Jr. might be injured, okay? We're unsure about his status. However, the guy has a lot of talent, okay? If I'm one of these teams that has a lot of young players, we obviously can't win a title next year. I'm looking to develop, all right? It's not about this season. It's about the future, right? The next 5 years. And I would have taken Porter Jr. because I think in the next 5 years, he might be, a top 10 player in the NBA by then. Grayson Allen went too late as well. I understand why the Jazz picked him so late. It's because he has a lot of antics, and he often gets really angry. We saw him trip some people. Saw him, stick out his back side in front of people in the ACC tournament game. However, he's one of the elite shooters. He was one of the elite shooters in college basketball this year. He can score from anywhere. He's a great shooter and a great player.
I think a player that was drafted too early was Troy Brown, going to the Wizards at number 15. He was not great offensively in college. He made just 29% of his three-pointers. And remember, this is an NBA that more and more players are shooting three-pointers. The three-pointer is getting.
I really do think it's not. Don't blame the Wizards for this, because if the Nuggets didn't go on Porter Jr., I guarantee you the Wizards would have gone after Porter Jr.
I don't think Troy Brown. I think he's going to be a bench player. I think at number 15 you can take a starter, and he's an average athlete, and he'll need a few years to develop. Okay, hey, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Well, you kind of interrupted me.
Robert Williams went too late. He went out of Texas A&M. He went to the Celtics at number 28. He could have been a lottery pick. I don't know if I would have taken him as a lottery pick, but I think he was up there. And he's one of the best athletes in the draft. He's a great physical prototype and is also incredibly fast for a big man. His stats show that he is the number 1 rebounder and number 3 shot blocker out of any player drafted. That's his stats. It's not, but his stats per minute. And there's a significant bust potential here, but number 28 is way too late for him.
I agree.
All right. There have been second-round picks in the past that have had very successful rookie seasons. Christian, which of the second-round picks this year will have the biggest surprise rookie season?
I'm going to go Mitchell Robinson out of Western Kentucky,
Okay.
who was drafted number 36 by the New York Knicks. He's 7 feet tall, has a 7'4" wingspan, and is an explosive athlete. And he's a very good shot blocker and rebounder, has great potential. I think he could be one of the best players out of this draft. The thing is, the biggest knock on him pre-draft is that his fundamentals are not great and he needs coaching. But David Fizdale, the Knicks new coach. He is a great coach, and he has a great situation with the Knicks. Remember, Kristaps Porzingis will likely not play next season, so Robinson has a chance to play right away.
The number 2 pick that will have the best rookie season next year is my man Javon Carter out of West Virginia. He averaged 17 points a game with West Virginia, and there's no way that West Virginia can make the Sweet 16 without Javon Carter. He's a good role guy who can also shoot the three-pointer. Do not sleep on Javon Carter. I really expect good things out of him in his NBA career.
It's time for our last question of the day. Jonathan, who do you think will be the 2018 Who do you think will be the 2018-19 Rookie of the Year?
Don't go off on me too soon, Christian, because I know who you're going to say, because you've been very clear about this on our episodes. But I think that the 2018-19 Rookie of the Year will be Colin Sexton. He got drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, all right? And in the past couple of years, the Cavaliers have both gotten Kyrie Irving and LeBron James Rookie of the Year awards. A lot of Rookie of the Year awards go to rookies in Cleveland, okay?
Well, that's not...
Right,
That's,
the staff in
that's
Cleveland...
a coincidence.
No, it's not. Dan Gilbert is a great executive for the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers...
Oh, okay. I never thought anyone would say that Dan Gilbert is a great...
Did he not take a risk on LeBron James? Okay? He took a big risk on LeBron James.
LeBron was the #1 player, and remember, this is
But
the
he
guy...
came straight out of high school, okay? We've seen a lot of guys try to come straight out of high school, and they have been busts. Okay? He also drafted Kyrie Irving, who is a top 10 player in the NBA right now. Cleveland has a good staff. I know that you might think that since Cleveland had terrible players, I'm sorry, not terrible players, just like, a terrible system this year, that maybe I'm not making sense with Colin Sexton. However, I like Colin Sexton. I think that this might lure LeBron James and stay into Cleveland. I really like Sexton, and he's a great player. I think that he can develop a three-point shot and a mid-range shot. He is the next star point guard of the NBA and the 2018 and 19 Rookie of the Year.
Well, I'm going to guess out of the way, because I think everyone knows who I'm going to pick, and it's Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is the most NBA-ready prospect, but I want to go back to something you said. I actually don't have a problem with Colin Sexton. I think he's one of the best players in this draft. I think
I think he went too late.
I agree, but I think first of all stuff you said about Cleveland here, that was Dan Gilbert. Remember, this is a guy that he is not a great executive. The
Cavaliers draft well, okay? They drafted LeBron James.
Well, that's because LeBron and Kyrie Irving were the best players in this. Were the best players of that in that draft. We wouldn't take them.
Who do you think was the best?
No. This is okay. I think
this argument is not over.
Yeah, I completely disagree with you about Cleveland. I don't. The Dan Gilbert comment that was
okay. Who do you think was the best player out of last year's draft? Before we saw Donovan Mitchell have a great season, when we saw the draft come up, who do you think was the best player? Markelle Fultz. Okay, yeah. So the 76ers took a risk, and the risk did not pay off. Markelle Fultz barely played this year. All right. The Cavaliers know stars when they see them, okay? They drafted Kyrie Irving, they drafted LeBron James, okay? Other #1 picks have not done as well, all right? I think that Colin Sexton will be Rookie of the Year. I think Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks can have a good season next year. However, Colin Sexton will win Rookie of the Year.
All right.
What are you doing?
Trying to get you guys to be quiet.
Okay, well, we're done talking.
Okay, very good. Thanks for watching 101 today. Try to do better next time, and subscribe to, and drop a like below, and comment who you think will Okay, comment if you like Jonathan's suit, but I already think I know what the answer will be.
Y'all like my suit? Make sure to comment on my suit, the likes, the dislikes. Make sure to comment on the shoes, shorts, tie, everything. I want to know your opinion. Have a great weekend.